Mississippi man freed after nearly 23 years in prison for the killings of 4 people is now fighting back against the prosecutors in his case. Curtis Flowers was released in December 2019 after the Supreme Court tossed out his conviction, saying prosecutors showed an unconstitutional pattern of excluding African-American jurors in his trial. Flowers is now filing suit against investigators and the district attorney who prosecuted him 6 times for the killings, claiming prosecutors engaged in misconduct. And joining us now to break this all down for us is BNC's chief legal correspondent, Dr. McNeal. And Dr. Laura, we've been talking about this today. What is the likelihood that Curtis Flowers will be successful in the lawsuit he has filed against the prosecutor for misconduct?
You know, unfortunately, I'd like to be optimistic because it's very apparent in this case that the prosecutor probably did engage in misconduct, which is why the highest court of the land, the Supreme Court, overturned this case. But the problem is that very same Supreme Court also established what we call immunity, prosecutorial immunity, and it gives prosecutors a legal shield from civil lawsuits. And so you might be asking, well, if immunity is there, then why on earth are they bothering to file this lawsuit? Well, the attorney is trying to make a point, and essentially what he's doing is he is trying to establish another way, like find a back door, as we would say. So he's filed the lawsuit based on what we call prosecutorial misconduct, but at the state level, not the federal level. I don't know if that's really going to make a difference, to be quite honest. The Supreme Court precedent is well established in terms of prosecutors having this immunity. He's also saying that he's focusing on this prosecutor's actions during the investigative capacity of the trial as opposed to when he actually went to trial.
And so, Dr. Laura, is the Curtis Flowers case rare, or is prosecutorial misconduct more widespread than people actually realize?
You know, I think it's more widespread than people actually realize. I was fortunate enough to conduct a prosecutorial misconduct study through Harvard University with a research colleague of mine. And what we found time and time again is a lot of prosecutors' offices, the cultures of those offices, they're really focused on winning, because that's how you get a name in the legal field, by showing that how many wins do you have? You know, I have 0 losses. And sometimes that clouds their judgment and not doing necessarily what the evidence says, but how can I interpret this evidence to get a win? A quick example, the Innocence Project did a study which found that out of 5 states that they surveyed, they found 660 cases of misconduct by prosecutors actually documented by the court system. So I think it's a lot more prevalent than people realize.
Yeah. And Dr. Laura, is it damaging to their career?
In terms of the prosecutorial misconduct, absolutely. But it can be damaging, but still there's no civil accountability. And so in a sense, and a lot of times, to be quite honest, we don't know the misconduct has happened because, you know, they're the ones seeing the evidence. We're trusting that when they took that oath, that if there's evidence to, you know, free or show that someone is indeed innocent that they're pursuing, that they're going to share that evidence with the public, with the jury's members, with, you know, individuals that would be involved in potentially pursuing this prosecution. But again, that's all based on trust and that they're upholding our ethical standards.
And we expect, you know, anybody who has that job to uphold our ethical standards, right? So what are the most common types of prosecutorial misconduct?
Yes, a lot. So a lot of things like withholding evidence. We saw in the Curtis Flowers case actually fabricating evidence, getting people to say that a suspect was in a place or location when they actually weren't. We saw with the alleged misconduct of the DA with respect to the Ahmaud Arbery case, and that she used her power allegedly to shield those individuals, Greg McMichaels and his son, from liability. There were no charges filed. There were no arrests made for months. This despite the very, very chilling video footage showing Ahmaud Arbery being pursued by them. So those are some examples of misconduct by prosecutors, and more important, how they can impact justice for the victims.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure families are always hoping that there should be some type of change to this, right? So how can we use the legal system to address the problem of prosecutorial misconduct?
You know, Brittany, I think it's really important to do 2 things. One, we need an oversight committee, a neutral oversight committee to review prosecutorial cases, their investigative files, and see if there's any evidence of misconduct or any foul play. I think it's also important to challenge that Supreme Court precedent that allows prosecutors to have this immunity. They should not have immunity. They should be held accountable just like any citizen, like you and I would be held accountable, because it's important. Think about it. They have so much power in our criminal justice system. They decide who gets sentenced, who has charges filed against them, who doesn't get charges filed against them. They're in charge of the investigation. They see all the evidence. They determine whether or not someone's going to go before a grand jury. So a lot of people don't realize that prosecutors are actually the frontline workers of our criminal justice system. They decide who makes it to that next step that can have some pretty damaging consequences. We know potential jail time and losing your freedom.
Are there any challenges that when it comes to handling these types of cases?
No, there's really not. And the problem is the legal system is not set up to hold these prosecutors accountable. They're not set up to give us legal tools to say, how can we challenge what has been done? What we have seen that has been successful is asking for a special prosecutor. We've seen how that has helped a lot of cases where normally there are no charges filed, but when you bring in another prosecutor with a neutral, unbiased opinion, they see very differently.
All right, BNC's Chief Legal Correspondent, Dr. Laura McNeal. Dr. Laura, thank you.